Hello, welcome to 10-Minute English with May. Today we're going to do another SAT vocabulary lesson, and our word for the day is apocryphal. Apocryphal. Let's look at the first example. A hero of American folklore is the giant lumberjack Paul Bunyan, whose footprints supposedly formed the Great Lakes. Clearly, this story is apocryphal. So we know that the story of Paul Bunyan is a folklore, which is a made up story. And the story goes like this. So Paul Bunyan with his ox, a blue ox named Babe, together they're said to have shaped the landscape of North America, creating the Grand Canyon and also the five Great Lakes. The second example, there is a story in our family that my great great grandfather was a train robber, but I think the story is probably not real. It is apocryphal. So we know the meaning of apocryphal is a fictitious, which is made up, like the word fiction, right, which is a made up story, as opposed to nonfiction, which is based on true stories. So look at the image at the right. Imagine that there is an apple or an apple core falling on top of Newton's head. So people say this story is actually not true. It is not how Newton discovered gravity. So an apple core falls on Newton's head. Apocryphal. Apocryphal. It is made up. Now let's look at some synonyms. Another word that means fake or made up is spurious. Spurious. The politician's spurious claims about the election results were quickly debunked by fact checkers. Or the lawyer quickly pointed out the spurious evidence presented by the prosecution, proving it had no basis in fact. So imagine a woman who spends a lot of money on fake fur. So spurious, SP for spend, and UR for fur. Just keep in mind that we don't usually describe fake fur as spurious fur. We say faux fur or imitation fur. So for spurious, we usually use it to describe a claim or an argument, documents or data, sometimes correlations, relationships, or rumors or news. So a spurious claim, a spurious data. The next word we have is fabricate. Fabricate is a verb to fabricate something, and fabricated is the past participle, which is an adjective. The journalist was fired after it was discovered that he had fabricated, so we're using it as a verb here, several quotes in his article. So he made up those quotes. The story about seeing a UFO was clearly fabricated to get attention from the media. So we know that fabric is a type of material made by weaving, knitting, or bonding fibers together, right? And it is used to make clothing or furnishings or other items. So fibers can come from natural sources like cotton, wool, or silk, or they can be synthetic, right? Made artificially like polyester or nylon. But imagine this person using fibers or yarn in this case to fabricate, to make up fake stories, to fabricate. All right, and our last word for the day is specious. So keep in mind that they are not exactly the same as spurious or apocryphal. So specious comes from the Latin word speciere, which means to look or to see. And speciosus means beautiful or pleasing to the eye. So the salesman's specious promises of high returns quickly fell apart when the investment turned out to be a scam. So this species, the word species, is now used to describe something that appears to be true or genuine, but is actually deceptive or false. So something that looks good on the surface, but lacks true substance. So if you look at the picture here, the gifts, they're beautifully packaged, right? They look very fancy, but when you open it, you see that it's actually very spacious inside because it's empty. Spacious meaning a lot of space, right? It's very spacious inside, it's lacking substance. So spacious means something beautiful, but is actually deceptive. All right, now before we finish, we're going to use a mnemonic to help us memorize the 4 words for today. So look at the picture here. There is a sneaky fox spinning tales, spinning stories. So A stands for apocryphal, right? An apple core falling on Newton's head, apocryphal. The S in sneaky stands for spurious, spending a lot of money on fake or faux fur, spurious. F stands for fabricate or fabricated, to make up a fake story. And SP in spinning stands for specious, something that looks very pretty on the outside, but it's empty on the inside. All right, and that's it for today. Bye bye.